Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have Sheikh Yusuf Estes with us today from the United States of America, and we are talking about issues of conveying the message of Islam. Sheikh, according to you, are God and Allah the same?
Well, I appreciate the way you addressed the question, but I want to clarify something. When you say according to you, it appears that you're asking me for my opinion. I learned something, Ashraf, when I came into Islam 13 years ago, that everything in Islam is really based on what Allah teaches, because it's His religion, not mine, not Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's not the religion owned by any Muslim. Islam belongs to Allah. So let's get the concept of that in our minds first. So it's not going to be up to me or my opinion, but rather what did Allah say in His book, or what did the Prophet, peace be upon him, convey to us from Allah about what we believe. So let's start with that. And right after we determine or ascertain that, we're talking about God's religion, not ours. This is what He wants. This is what He is saying. So He's defining what Islam is. The surrender, submission in peace to Him. That's what Islam means. So it's up to Him also to define who He is and who we are. We, as the created, do not have the opportunity to define the Creator. Does it make sense? It's up to Him to give definition to everything, including Himself. We cannot define God, but He defines Himself. We can give definition to words, definitions to meanings, definitions to our concepts, but we cannot give a definition that is to Him unless He defines Himself. Does that make any sense? In other words, He is what He says He is, not what I say He is. And let's talk about that. The idea of God. Some people will ask you, they'll say, does Allah mean God? And actually it doesn't. It really doesn't. Not in linguistics, not in Arabic, and certainly not in the concept, the context that we understand Allah in our way or deen of Islam. Whatever somebody calls God, that's God. And if you want to try to emphasize it, for instance, in Christian or Judeo-Christian religion, you have to put the word "the" in front of an article, Thegod, the God. But you can still put an S on the end of it in the gods. So unless you saw it written down with a big G, you wouldn't know if somebody's talking about any kind of a God to worship or the only God to worship. Where in Arabic, you're not suffering from any of these problems. In the Lugha Arabiya, the language of Arabic, the word God is ilah, and it means anything that can be worshipped: a rock, a stick, a stone, a bone, okay? If you want to say the God, in Arabic, it's al-ilah, which literally means the God. And it can still be pluralized, because awliha is the plural of ilah. And if you said al-awliya, then you're saying the gods. It's not until you reach the level of Allah that you achieve the perfection of this noun. And it is a proper noun. So in English, you have to capitalize it. Arabic doesn't have that problem because there's no upper, lowercase lettering in any of the Semitic languages, by the way. So Allah means the only one worthy to be worshipped. Now, right away, somebody's going to say, what? Where do you get that? Well, it can't be made plural, so it's uniquely one. Okay? And it's an object of worship from ilah. But it also cannot be made plural, and it can't be genderized. You can't say female or male in this word Allah. Is that cool? Now, when those who would like to detract from religion in general, try to prove there is no God, or they try to insult those who believe in God, they will come back right away and say, well, wait, in your Quran, it says He, and you just got through telling me there's no gender in the word Allah. And it says He, and it never says she anywhere in the Arabic language or English translation. And that's true. But this He is out of respect, honor, dignity. Instead of calling God it, you're saying Allah, who, and who means He in Arabic. Okay? But it's for respect. The other one, they'll come back and say, well, wait, you said God can't be plural, but how many times in Quran Allah uses the plural form of a verb? We created, or we are, or we did. So why does it say we? And the word is actually used we in the Quran as well. Not just in the verb like khalaqna, which means we created, but nahnu, which means we. And it's there in the Quran, man. You're saying it's, one, and then you're coming up with we. This is the royal we. The English language does provide for that, by the way. The king or the queen, when they make any kind of a declaration, they say, we have decreed the following. Or they say, we are not amused. And this is the royal we. It gives honor, it gives distinction. I'm going to give you an example, Ashraf, and watch this. Plain English. Anything that we talk about in the condition of to be, as it exists, we say this is. The glass is, the chair is, the house is, I-S, right? Singular. When it's plural, we say are, A-R-E, right? You are. Wait a minute. You're a person sitting by yourself. Why did I say are? I should say you is. You're by yourself. But it's out of respect and honor, dignity, I say you are. And I say I am, which is also this higher level of addressing a person, and it doesn't mean plural. You follow that? So we find that this word Allah is so uniquely one that it perfectly describes the God of Adam and Abraham and Moses and David and Suleiman and Jesus and Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon them all. They believed in a unique one God. Immediately now some people will say, well, maybe. But I want to share with you, this is not a new concept. This is exactly the same word that you find in the Christian Bible. And the example here, you can go to the Gideon Bible, which is the one given away free in all the hotels all over the universe, and take the Gideon Bible and open it up in the very beginning, and they give you samples of all the languages that they've translated to. The first one is the Afrikaans language, and the second one is the Arabic. And look right there in the Arabic when it says, for God so loved the world, He gave His only and so. And right there, the word God that they used is Allah, Alif Lam Lam Ha. They use that in the New Testament, John 3:16. And if you go to the first book of the Bible for the Jewish Arabs, there are Arab Jews, by the way, and you look in there and you find on page 1 in Genesis, the word Allah appears 17 times in 17 verses. So this word is used by the Jews who are Arab, the Christians who are Arab, long before Muhammad, peace be upon him, ever came on the scene. So for the benefit of those who have been possibly dissuaded by those who are trying to attack Islam and some of these preachers that are saying that Allah is not God, Allah has nothing to do with the God of Abraham, then I ask them to look in their own books. Because it's exactly what it says before they were born, before Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born, going way back 2,000 years ago, and still today, Allah is the proper noun for the only one worthy to be worshipped in the monotheistic religion.
Now, can you define God?
You're asking me to define God. I'm going to tell you, no. You cannot define God. I cannot define God. And the reason for this is He and He alone can define anything. I can define for you the meaning of words. I can define for you concepts that we have. But to define something means that you have a power over it, to control it. So no, I don't define God. He defines me. He defines Himself. If you want to know who God is, who are you going to ask? Me or Him? Make sense?